so we are going to get into Torah. Have you ever taken a Torah and opened it up all the way to see what's inside? Well, that's exactly what we're about to do. Come on. We're opening the scroll from end to end for a couple of reasons. One, so that everyone can have an opportunity to really understand how much a Torah actually contains. But also, secondly, we're opening the scroll and filming it because of COVID during Simchat Torah, when we would normally open the scroll with everybody in the building. We're not able to do that now, and so we still wanted to give folks the opportunity to see a whole scroll.
How many words are in the Torah?
Every Torah has 79,847 words in it, no matter how long the actual scroll is.
That's a lot of words, but do you know how many letters are in the Torah?
How many letters are in the Torah?
There are 305,804.
304,805.
Oh, let's open it up.
Okay, well let's see, we're gonna pull this back a little bit so we can get all the way to the end there. This is the very end of the Torah.
So the last word is Israel.
And what's this? This looks a little different here.
Oh yeah. This looks like it's a poem or maybe a song. I think it's Ha'azinu.
It is.
It's the song, the poem that Moses gives to the Jewish people before they cross over the land he can't go into. Oh, it says, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. But wait a minute. The ayin and the dalid are bolded. Why do you think the ayin and the dalid are bolded?
And not only that, but they're larger. Their letters are actually larger.
Yeah.
Well, if you take those two letters and you put them together, do they spell anything?
Aid.
Aid? You mean like first aid?
No, like witness.
Witness. Oh, so we're supposed to witness that God is one.
That's exactly right.
That's what this is.
This is the Ten Commandments. It says that we should have no other God besides our God, because God took us out of the land of Egypt.
Yep. Oh, this is important. Right here.
That's the beginning of the last book of the Torah.
And so,
Devarim.
yeah, whenever we see a big space in the columns like that, that means we've had a break. One book has ended and the next book is beginning. This is the book of Numbers. So, do you see this? This is not stains. Parchment is made from the skin of a kosher animal, and so that is actually coloration from the skin of the animal. And you'll see that there's a nun all by itself and another one all by itself, and I believe they are backwards. Every Torah scroll has that. We think that those are like special parentheses, and they only occur in this place, and they highlight the verse that is between them. But it changes the way we understand this section of the Torah portion. We haven't even gotten halfway through the scroll. Look how much we've got, and look how little we've got left. There's the beginning of another book.
That's the beginning of the book of Numbers.
Yep.
Bamidbar in Hebrew. So this is the book of Leviticus, Vayikra. This is called the Holiness Code. We read this from Vayikra 19, actually on Yom Kippur, on the holiest day of the year. It tells us all the ways in which we can be Kedoshim, the way we can be holy.
The single most important verse of the entire Torah is right there. And by the way, this is the exact center of the Torah. So here's the beginning of the book of Leviticus, and you'll notice that the last letter of the first word, that aleph, is small.
Oh yeah.
So if you look at the next letter, that's another aleph. You see how big that aleph is? It's like twice the size. There are a handful of letters in the scroll that are either larger or smaller.
Isn't this the part of the Torah that when little kids first start Torah, traditionally they start reading with Vayikra?
They do. And traditionally you put a little bit of honey right on their book. Wait a second. Here we are again.
Wait, these are the original 10 Commandments.
This is the first time around. Anochi Adonai Elohechem. These are the 10 Commandments the first time.
The first time.
The first time. So we saw them the second time first because we were rolling from the other end. But this is the first time we get them right here. We're at Mount Sinai. We have the 10 Commandments here, but you know what we don't have here?
What?
The Shema. We only get the Shema at the end, not here.
That's true.
Think about how long it took us just to get from where the canner is all the way down there, all the way to here. Yeah. And so for us to have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, it would take a very long time. It's very hard to do. Yeah. That's why we have all of these scrolls in there. Each one is set to a different place so that we don't have to do that. But this is special too. This is really special.
It almost looks like water.
This is called Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. And you're exactly right, Rabbi. This is the song that Moses sang after we crossed the sea that parted on dry land.
Totally.
So if you look at this, there are two ways right? Two ways that you can see this. One is just what the rabbi said. These are waves. But here's another way of looking at it. Water, water, dry land.
So this is where they pass through to freedom.
Exactly.
Micha mocha.
Wow.
The micha mocha.
And then right over here.
Adonayim loch le'olam ba'ed. This is what we sing every time we're together for services.
Now, very gently. So this is what the sofars do when they want to get the whole scroll open, is because we want it to breathe. So instead of just rolling from the other end right away, we do this. And here is the beginning of the book of Exodus. We're now in Genesis. Okay, got it. This is the very beginning of the scroll. Right here you see that big Beth. That's for Bereshit, in the beginning. This isn't even about anything to do with Judaism. This is just creation. We have the only text in the major monotheistic tradition that doesn't start with just us, but has the whole world.
Vayomer Adonai el Avram, lech lecha. Go forth, martzecha, from your land, of your homeland, to a land that you do not know. This is when we have the covenant, the promise that if we follow God's teachings, God will make us as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand of the sea.
That is the whole Torah. The whole Torah right here.
Rabbi, when we were unrolling, I noticed that with the exception of the first parchment that says Bereshit in the beginning, there was a vav on every single column.
Yeah. Why is that?
Why do you think so?
Well, they must be doing it on purpose.
Well, didn't they make a decision that they were going to standardize them, right?
Yeah, there were
and begin every column with the letter vav?
Yeah, exactly right. In the beginning of the 20th century. And they did that, I think, so it would be easier for everyone to learn to read and chant Torah, because all the scrolls would line up in a similar way. So we hope that this video gave you the opportunity to experience a little bit of the joy of Simchat Torah with us. And while we wish that we were all able to be together physically, we are very glad that we still can be together spiritually and to celebrate. And so we wish you not only a Shana Tova, a new year of happiness and of health, but also Moedim L'Simcha, a season of joy, which we are in right now. And then we all celebrate many, many joy-filled celebrations of Simchat Torah together in person in the years to come.
Amen.